Now today we'll see the hyphenation here in the text, the use of this hyphenation. See, in the text you will see find this this hyphenation here. You will see this particular hyphenation, the use of hyphenation in text. Okay, so there's a text here on my sheet. See the dash, what you see here in the first line. See, you can see the dash here in this particular word. The small line here, that's a single word, but it's divided into two. Divided into two means the first the few letters of this word is on the first line, the remaining words have shifted to second line because this particular one word doesn't fit on this one single line. That's the reason it has shifted to second line. And to make you understand that it's a single word, there is a hyphenation here. That's the use of the hyphenation. So in the same way, if there is another word, so there is another big word which doesn't fit into that one line, it shifts to another line. See, this is one single word, but the words has been divided into two, and the remaining words which doesn't fit on this one single line, it has shifted to second line. Same here. The dash, the small line what you see, that's hyphenation. That's the use of hyphenation. So we'll select this text, and suppose if I untick this use hyphenation, what it does is it removes the hyphenation mark, the small line, it removes that thing. That's called hyphenation. It removes that thing, and the word, it shifts to second line because it's not fitting on the first line. It by default shifts to second line. Okay, since you have untick this use hyphenation, the word, what it does is it shifts to the another line. Okay, the same way it happens to other words too here. So that's the use of hyphenation. I'll see again now if I take this use hyphenation, wherever the word few of the words which can fit on the first line, it shift the words start from that line, and the remaining words which doesn't fit on that particular line, it shifts to the next line. The same thing here, the same thing happens to all the paragraph. Okay, that's the use of hyphenation. So I'll remove the hyphenation and we'll see the next tool here, hyphenation setting. These are the setting for hyphenation. Same here. So this is unticked. This is automatically hyphenate paragraph text. This is unticked. If I tick this, it automatically hyphenate the entire words in the text, in the paragraph. See, all the text has got an hyphenation, and the remaining words which doesn't fit on that line shifted to the next line. That's the use of hyphenation. And here in hyphenation setting, so break capitalize words means the word which has the first letter which is in capital. If you also want to use this hyphenation, apply that hyphenation setting to that word, it does that through this tick mark. If I remove this tick mark and if I click OK and I make this one single letter of this particular word which has a hyphenation, if I make it into capital, see that that word shifts to the second line. Though the hyphenation is active, but it has shifted to second line because the first letter of that particular word is in capital. Okay, because and it has happened because in hyphenation setting we have unticked this particular thing, break capitalized words. If I take this, it also breaks the words which has a single letter which has the first letter in capital. It also breaks that particular word. Okay, and the same thing here, if all the words are in capital, the same thing applies to this particular. If you take this, if all the words are in capital, it breaks that thing. If you untick this, if all the words are in capital, it doesn't give hyphenation to that. So this is the hyphenation criteria. I means suppose if you want to break the word minimum, the minimum word length which should be break if it is 6, you can give the settings here. Okay, the minimum character from where you want to break, if I keep it 4, so from wherever you want to break the, so if I increase the, this is 3, after 3 words it has a hyphenation. If I increase this, it goes to the second line. Okay, in the same way, minimum character width, it depends on the character width actually. Distance from margin, this is the distance from right margin, how many meters to 0. So this is the distance. If I increase the distance, it shifts. This is the distance from right side to the text. If you increase this, this shifts to next line. This, if you increase the size, the spacing here, it automatically by default it shifts to the second line. So these are few of the setting. As you start typing the paragraph text and use these settings, you will come to understand the exact use of this hyphenation setting. But by default, whatever is there, whatever the hyphenation setting is there, like if you just you just need to keep all these things default, whatever it is. Default it was 6 character. You can keep this whatever default setting is. So for it is easier for you to type the text, unless and until you require in a single line, if you want to fit a particular word, anyhow compress it and fit that particular word without the hyphenation in a single line, you can use this setting. Until then, these settings are not very much required. You can keep it as default. Okay, so I'll remove the hyphenation setting here, so there is no hyphenation here now. Okay, so we'll see the next tool, that is writing tool. The first one is spell check shortcut, which is just beside that, Control F12. Spell check will check the spelling on your entire paragraph. Now see, here it is showing the first spelling check is these 2 words. There are mistake in between these 2 words. There's a mistake in these 2 words because there is no space here. In these 2 words there is no space. That's the reason it is showing there's a mistake. If I put some space and replace this thing, it replaces that particular word. See, it has created a space in between. There was no space before. That's the reason it was showing it was a mistake. And now it has gone to second word, that is this particular word, overlines. So this is a mistake in this particular word. That's the reason it is showing here. Okay, and you can replace it with other word. By default, Corel will show you few of the other correct word options. You can replace it with that. So I guess I need this particular word as it is, but no other words are matching to the sentence what I have written. So I'll see, this is the last option. Click, select that thing. Now it has created a space between 2 words, and I'll replace that thing. So I'll double click on that particular word. It has created a space. In the same way, there is a spelling mistake in this particular word. So again, I'll select this thing. I can double click on, I can replace through the here, and after once the spell check is done, there's a window which appears saying that all the spelling checks are done. If you want to close this, you'll say yes. Okay, it has closed. Now this is easier for you to spell check the paragraph, the entire text. There is no need for you to sit and search every individual word or read the entire text to find the spelling mistakes. You can do that thing through this command, the write tool and spell check. Okay, since there is no mistakes, the mistakes has already been resolved through spell check. So that's the reason it's not showing any mistake words, spelling mistakes. Okay, it has done the spell check. We'll do yes. Okay.